Mama Cass here at Firefly, talking to the Head and the Heart. So why don't you guys introduce yourself? You played an amazing show today.
Thank you. I'm Tyler, and I play drums.
I'm Charity, and I sing and play violin.
All right, and you guys have a bunch of other members of the band, too. You guys are probably one of the biggest bands here. What are the other members, their names?
Well, John plays guitar and sings. Josiah plays guitar and sings. Kenny plays piano and claps sometimes. And Chris plays bass. So six people. Charity and you know us already. So.
Right, definitely. And you all are from a bunch of different places, kind of scattered throughout the country. How did you all meet up in Seattle?
It was fate.
It was, you know, the common thread of fate. And Josiah moved up to pursue like a master's degree in information science at the University of Washington in Seattle. And then John kind of hitched a ride with a friend from Virginia, and he was, you know, she was moving out there, and he's like, well, I kind of want, you know, a change. So he moved out, and they met at this open mic. They were both playing, and they kind of just were, you know,
friends from the get-go.
Yeah,
Kenny moved up from LA like around that same time.
And he was just playing piano in his room and had never been in a band before, and went to that
same open mic.
And he's like, hey, you know, I play piano, and they didn't see him, you know, had never seen him, and then he played, and they were like, okay. And so much of the first album was kind of written amongst the three of them. And then I moved home. I was just studying overseas, went to the open mic. And
that open mic night was it.
Chris, our bass player, was a bartender there and played in a couple other bands, well-known bands.
I feel like I'm the only person that didn't really have any part. Like, I came kind of after they all met.
Yeah.
Like John sent me a demo of Down in the Valley, and so, you know, Kenny and them, they all been writing for like a year, or not a year, but like all summer long.
4 to 6 months.
Yeah, 4 to 6 months. So I came out in September, and you know, we kind of all looked at each other and we were like, man, we really got to like get serious now. You know, like we all kind of. It felt very, you know, it felt kind of like we were on the path.
It was loose and organic, and I think with the influence of him and Chris, who had been in touring bands, you know, I think having them come out there was a good influence in our growth. It's a cool background.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. What other bands did you tour with?
Chris was in a band called Grand Hallway, who'd done some touring, and
the Maldives.
And the Maldives, and he also played with Jesse Sykes. I played in a band called Prabir and the Substitutes, which was just an East Coast band, and you know, did a lot of regional touring, but it was never to the extent of, you know, where we are now. I think it was almost like a lesson, learning how to deal with life on the road more so.
And I think one of the best things about all of you guys together is the lyrics of all of your songs. They're just incredible, and they really kind of match your name, like the Head and the Heart, like all of your lyrics kind of follow that same theme. Do all of you guys write those together?
It's kind of whoever's singing, really. Like, if somebody's singing a part, that's kind of what they wrote. There's never, nobody's ever really dictated, like, you're gonna sing this line that I'm doing right here, so.
And how do you come up with the harmonies?
I've been singing since I was a kid. I have 2 other sisters and my mom, and we'd always sing hymns in the car, and just, you know, like, singing is kind of like second nature for me, and finding harmonies. I was the youngest amongst my sisters, so I was always the last one to get the harmony. So it kind of parallels this situation. I'm like, you guys just do it, and then I'll find the third.
I think on the next record, right now it seems a much more kind of like collaborative thing, where like the songs that we are working on, like everybody's more kind of like open to just discussing, what if we did something here? What if this changed?
Tell me a little bit about the new album. When is it coming out? What are you guys excited about for it?
Right now, we're in the stage where we're basically trying to figure out where we're going to do the record, who we want to work with, and you know, it seems like we're kind of narrowing that down and finding our way a little bit more on that. And it's exciting because the last record was just done on our own, like, you know, super cheap. Like, we thought it was going to be demos. We didn't think it was ever going to be widely released. So the fact that it did what it did was incredible, but now I think we're ready to kind of step up and make a record that other people have done before, you know, like do it kind of the right way almost. We have no plans for when that's going to be released, next year hopefully sometime, and we're writing. So
I think doing it like, not just the right way, but like doing it like a mature way. Like, we matured as a band, you know, like we were very young. Chris was in the band for like barely a month.
Before we recorded that record.
You know, we had played our first show, like we recorded in March, and that September before was our first show as the Head and the Heart. That's when Tyler and I came out. So it was like,
Yeah.
you can imagine, you know, how we've grown as musicians and performers and just
The last
as a
2.5 years.
cohesive band, you know, with all this touring, like that is just going to create the record. And that means like playing with, like layering things and trying different sounds,
Maybe
you know?
it won't be all acoustic guitar, you know? Maybe,
Yeah.
Or maybe the piano will be a Rhodes, or it's like,
Yeah.
you know, try the experimentation that I'm really
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah.
That we're all really, like,
We're all
excited
kind
to
of
try out.
itching, you know? It's
Yeah.
not just like we're trying to be experimental for experimental's sake, but we're just itching to try
different shit.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just cool.
Very
Change
cool.
is good.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. Do you guys know about when that might happen?
Sometime next year. That's when we dive into the writing process and really get kind of dirty
Yeah.
and messy, and then we do the records.
Well, that sounds absolutely amazing. How have you guys liked the festival
Yeah, it
so
sounds
far?
Oh, it's so organized. It's so
even.
good. You never know what you're going to find, but this is such an organized, relaxed feeling, and the crowd is amazing. The stage is great. It seems like this is the first like big festival that the East Coast has really done outside of Bonnaroo. You know, like this feels like this feels like the Bonnaroo of the Northeast, kind of. Which, for its first year, it's doing a good job. It's nice.
Well, you guys put on an amazing show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Probably one of my favorites of the weekend so far.
Thank
Thank you, Mama Cass.
Anytime. Anytime. Is there anything
I love
else you
it.
guys would like to say?
I love playing smaller places. I love, like, I want to get back to Ithaca. I want to, you
Yeah.
know, I want to play, like...
I don't play
there's a
Wilmington,
charm.
Delaware.
There's a charm in you know,
Again.
smaller cities, and I hope that that'll always kind of be present in our touring considerations.
Yeah. Don't lose
definitely.
sight.
Next
Yeah.
time you're on the Northeast,
Yeah,
call us
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
274-3217, our studio
All
line.
right.
Mama Cass.
Yeah, we'll do it,
Mama Cass, we're in the
Alright.
hood!
I like it.
Nice. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for interviewing us. Thanks for having us. Hey, this is Tyler.
This is Charity from the Head and the Heart, and you're listening to 92
WICB Ithaca.